Happy Monday, May 1st, and as Thomas hinted, that is for Cinco de Mayo, and it's going to tie into the sales calls as one of the things in the new hire training I'm going to talk about is doing events for your doors. And what's our next big upcoming event? Well, it's going to be Cinco de Mayo, just a few days away. So happy May 1st, happy early Cinco de Mayo. Thank you guys for hopping on this week's call. And we try to do these new hire trainings once a month. I know we had a lot of stuff going on in April, so we didn't have one in April. So definitely wanted to kick off this month with a new hire training and kind of get everyone back to the basics on what we should be focused on. So with that said, can you guys see my screen and can you hear me?
We've got you.
All right. All right. So one of the things I think is most important for any new hire is knowing where. We just had an NFL draft, so you're kind of your playbook, right? Is kind of how I look at it. And I think the buzz, as well as the device hot sheet, are kind of like your guys' playbook. So if you're going into your rookie mini camp, or you're a new hire, you're looking to really get the most out of everything. These are the two top resources for you guys. So let me show you real quickly where you're going to find these at. So let me X this one out. Oh, hold on. I think I X'd out the whole window. Give me 1 second here, and I will pull these back up for you guys. Let me stop sharing for one quick second. And get it pulled back up. 1 second, guys. All right, logging back in. Wanted to exit out so you guys can see any of my passwords here. All right, we're back in. Okay, let me reshare my screen. Okay, so as I was saying, your playbook, right? NFL draft has happened. The two things you're going to use the most is you're going to be your hot sheet and your buzz. And a lot of people know what the device hot sheet is, but they're not really sure about the buzz. They don't look at it. And the buzz is so helpful. Where it's at, when you go log into your sales portal right here, you'll see on the right-hand side under quick links, you have all these links that are going to have what any new hire or any employee are going to use kind of the most, as far as everything from frontline escalations to your promo resources, device pricing, ACP resources, all the stuff's here. But what I want to focus on first is the buzz. You'll see it's listed today at number 11. These can move up and down here. But the buzz is kind of the best of all your promotion one-pagers and everything, and it updates weekly. So as a new hire, you should be looking at this every week. Typically, it updates midweek. So if you look at it Wednesday or Thursday, you should have the new version for the week. But if you click on it, what I want to show you guys, you'll see, so here's the newest one, and this is the, came out April 25th. So we should have a new one coming shortly. But it's got everything here for you guys. And if you're not on mute, if you can please mute your phones. But it's got your Social Security benefit calendar, so it'll tell you the busiest days of staffing. It has all your promotions, your airline promotions, your Galaxy A23 BOGO promotions, your Boost 5G BOGO promotions, your device pricing, your no port, no problem offers, Boost Infinite customer service if you're in an area that has that, kind of the Save Desk information, the Customer ID program, which just launched out there, the one-pager for the Customer ID program, ACP promotion updates. Everything's right here, and these are all hot links. And they even have videos in here as well. They call it kind of the Boost Network News, right? Where they'll give you a little video of all the hottest items for the week. But let's say you had a question on a certain promotion. For example, CIP is a newer program, right? So how do we do that? What's a step action guide, for the CID program? So SAG is step action guide, right? Everything on here is all hyperlink. So you'll notice if I click on it, it'll pull up the step action guide. It'll tell you what's required, what pricing works if their customer opts in or opts out. It'll talk about your device hot sheet pricing. You'll see there's two different prices on the device hot sheet, your standard promo pricing without ID and preferred promo pricing with IDs. It's got an FAQ section on there. And then it gives you the step-by-step guide, so how to actually process one. So I'm not going to go through these in detail on this call because we only have half an hour, but this granular detail is here for every promotion that's out there. And again, this is updated weekly. This is where I go the most times. When I get calls from my dealers and they have a question, I'm typically going into the sales portal and I'm going to the Buzz and I'm going to these step action guides to find these answers. So everything from what IDs work, all the FAQs. I mean, it's all right here, guys. So it's just a fantastic resource for you. And I want to make sure you know where that's at. Now, the other biggest thing for new hires is you need to know your device pricing, because our device pricing can change all the time. So if you're looking at the quick links again, you'll see device pricing has its own tab. So when you open that one up, you can see if you need to print price tags. There are information to print price tags from your stores. You want the latest price tags, but you want to always look at that device hot sheet. The newest one we had out is updated April 21st. Now, let's break this down real quick. If you're a new hire, so if you look at, there's a lot of kind of columns on the top. XP, that's the old network that we're going away from. That's going to sunset, I believe, at the end of June. That's going to be gone. Eventually, that you won't be able to do those anymore. That's your orange SIM cards. Then you have, and it'll tell you, is the phone eligible on XP and GSF? It'll tell you yes. If there's a blank, then it's a no. If it's GSF, that's guided sales flow. That's your Elevate Web. That's your black and white SIM cards. It'll give you the pricing. It'll give you the port-in pricing with ID verification. You'll see new customer and port-in pricing with the ID verification, as well as port-in and new pricing without ID verification. So if your customer doesn't have an ID, no problem, but you just might be paying more for your phone. There are still phones that have really good prices without the ID, but you need to make sure you are selling correctly for the customer you have in store. Also has your upgrade eligible pricing on there as well, and your ACP pricing for those customers on those $0 ACP plans. When you get into ACP, which is our affordable connectivity plan, something any new hire needs to kind of quickly ramp up on and become an expert, that's basically where you get $30 off any plan choice. If you go on a plan $20 or higher, you will get that new customer pricing. The prices listed here is just for the $0 ACP plan. Then that tier 1, that just means is that a high price device where there may be some extra spiffs for your dealership. That's what that tier 1 is. But the main thing you guys need to look at is port-in and new with or without ID and your upgrade pricing. All right. So this is updated whenever there are price changes and has everything there for you. A great resource you guys should have saved to your desktops in case you ever have any questions about phones and pricing. All right. Pretty straightforward on that. Any quick questions?
It's not straightforward. I have no questions, but that's not straightforward at all. That hot sheet is way too complicated for a lot of people and new hires. They need to simplify that. I know you're a master agent in DCI, but I'm speaking the honest truth. That's too difficult.
Well, okay. So whenever someone says bring up a problem, bring up a solution. So let's brainstorm on it. What do you think would be a better way to do it? Because I mean, we have IDs and we have no IDs, right?
Yeah, I had to create an out-the-door pricing for people, but it gets updated every 3 weeks to 2 months. Even though our promotions is every quarter, I have to constantly change it and help the employees to do it. So it's such an old-fashioned system. They have to calculate what the pricing is first, and they have to make sure they do it right to a customer before they make any damages. I have more returns now, right? You said there's a problem solver, right? Whatever solution, whatever that you want to say. I just want to let you know that is too difficult, too much math. There's 8 pricings for one phone. That hot sheet got way too big, and I'm being upfront and honest about it. I don't have a problem continuously to do it, but with exceptions here and there and all this stuff, no, it's too much. It takes almost 2 weeks to activate one phone.
Okay. Well, what I want to point out is something I really liked in what you said, that you're getting your out the door prices. You're bundling everything for your customers out the door. That's kind of advanced for a new hire training call, but that's fantastic. The fact that you're doing that, hats off to you. I mean, that is like, you know, the best way to do things for sure. And yeah, I mean, we're in wireless, so prices change all the time. That's been that way. You know, I know you're a vet like myself, and prices always change mid-month. So the only thing that's really new that makes it more complicated is this ID system. Other than that, it's our same old hot sheet, right? And the ID thing, Why is that important, right? Why are they doing this? Well, the ID is very important because customer lifetime value is very important. And our customers have not been staying with Boost long enough. So what's proven kind of in the industry, like Metro's been doing this for over a year now, is if a customer has their ID, it's more likely to be a valid customer that's going to stick with you long term. As opposed to the guy walking in your door with no ID with cash, I want to buy 4 iPhones, right? That guy's probably going to buy those flip phone. They're not going to pay second or third month payment. And where does this hurts? This hurts the entire company because those phones that you guys sell for, let's say $20 or $50, when Boost buys those or Dish buys those, they buy them for the full SRP, and they're giving a huge discount to our customers based on the fact that these customers should be sticking with us. If they don't, if they buy that phone, let's say for $500 and they sell it for $50, there's a $450 loss there. Now you're selling a $50 rate plan. Dealers make commission on that. You have a Boost corporate staff, you have master agents, you have all these things that eat away at that profit margin. And if that customer is not staying with you for over 6 months, basically, they're taking a loss on that. And a business can't survive that way. So to make the business healthy is why they've implemented this customer ID program, because it's proven to have a longer lifetime value for your customers. So I understand your frustration that it makes it harder to get the right price with or without an ID. It's just something we have to adapt to. It's kind of the new world of wireless. And when you say simplifying it, one thing, not towards pricing, but towards simplifying things, is coming when we go to one system. You know, right now, the extra complications is we have the old sales portal system for your orange SIM cards and the new portal system, which is a totally different way of activating your black and white SIM cards. And I understand the issues that are going on with that system. It goes down a lot. Well, that's because your resources are also being torn between 2 different systems. Once we only have one system, everyone's only going to be working on the Elevate Web. This is what I've heard anyway, right? And I'll take that with a grain of salt because I understand how much it's gone down and what you guys have experienced with it. But what they said, once it has one system, it should work much smoother, much better, and make it much easier to train. So I understand it's a little bit of an eye chart, but I think it's it's one of those, not my favorite phrase, but it is what it is kind of phrases on there, because that pricing model is not going to change with these IDs. It's just something we got to kind of get in the habit of.
Yeah, you know what, Adam? I would have people to, I know it's okay. I would have people to, when you show that hot sheet, to speak out instead of just moving forward, because that hot sheet is extremely complicated. It looks simple to us, right? But with new people coming on board, that is not something easy to train, to teach them, to understand, to look all the way down at the bottom what the legend is. And then there's a 1-pager, read the 1-pager. I mean, it's just getting too broad, and it's not helping anybody. I have more returns from this hot sheet itself than I've ever had before. And I'm losing equipment money and paying shipment because of how complicated this became to my staff. So if we're going to talk about the hot sheet, you should probably ask people, so that way you're not just, teaching and they're not listening. They need to respond, they need to provide feedback, and they need to say something too, because my staff, it's been very hard to teach them. Very hard. I don't know how other dealers are doing it, if you guys could provide feedback, but with my staff, it's like needle in a haystack and ripping teeth, trying to get them to understand things properly.
Sure. So let's open up. Are there other questions on the hot sheet? This is definitely an open forum, safe space. You guys can talk about anything you like. We're just here to help and train. So any questions, other questions on the hot sheet?
My staff is here. If you guys got questions about it, now is your time. This is DCI.
Yeah, this DCI. Yeah, we're here to make your life easier. That's it, guys. There are no bad questions. Every question here is a good question.
Yeah, I do think it's a little confusing, especially like when I first started doing it, and with ACP, I was completely lost on like what like price I would give for ACP if customers didn't qualify, or like specific things. I'm trying to remember what it was exactly I was trying to sell, but it had like 3 whole different pricings, and it's like not very clear in like quick links or anything like what the pricing would be for ACP. I know like they went over in like meetings a few times, but nothing specific. I would say that most likely my only issue is like
Yep.
the whole maybe Adeline and ACP differences, like not much of like well, maybe Adeline, but ACP not so much, like explanations of what's pricing for them if they don't qualify or not doing like ID verification, or if there's exceptions for that or not.
So let's go with the first part of the AC pricing. That is a great point, and I mentioned it, but maybe I breezed over it too quickly. The ACP pricing, you'll notice you only see what 6 devices on here that have ACP pricing. Everything else is blank, right? Well, then you have a couple 25 ones down here as well, farther down. Now, ACP, what that is, that's ACP pricing on the $0 plan. Now, we don't even want to sell the ACP $0 plan, right? Because that's not nearly as profitable. You know, you want to make sure the customer minimum goes on the 5. I don't even sell that. I say go on the 20. The $20 ACP plan, for those that are new hire, ACP, you basically get $30 off of any plan that you choose. So like the $5 plan is a $35 plan. The $20 plan is the $50 plan, and the $30 plan is the $60 plan. So 20 is going to be your bread and butter. 20 is your $50 plan. And if you can sell everything exact same, talk, text, and data on a $50 plan is the exact same on a $20 plan for ACP, that's going to be your gold mine. That's where you want to focus. Now, the prices you see on the ACP column are just for the $0 plans. If it's not a $0 plan, it's going to follow your other new important pricing for ACP. So you can offer every phone at their new important pricing on ACP, right? So it's not just these 5 phones. Adelines, you're seeing this is for GSF and XP, to the second part of your question. Those are kind of what you have your flyers on. Your Adelines that are $5, $15, $25. Those are your Adelines there. And then you'll see that there was a comment made about like all the little fine print, right? So see that little 3, and then you go look at the bottom there. That's the promo rules are on the 1-pager. So that's your standard kind of Adeline pricing. But yes, I understand where that could be a little confusing, and a lot of dealers I know would only sell some ACP on these phones, so they thought these are the only ones that are eligible. No, in fact, every phone you guys have is eligible for ACP. Great questions.
That made better sense.
Yep. Yeah, and so to kind of simplify it, because if you were used to it before, the big thing to clarify is your green and your red, with an ID or without an ID. If the customer doesn't give you a driver's license and you don't take those extra steps, it's going to be red. You can basically put your hand or you put a piece of paper over the other side of that paper, of the hot sheet if you print it out. If they have an ID, you can put the paper over the right-hand side to kind of simplify it. So yes, there's 2 sets of data there, but it's just with ID or without ID. But that ACP stuff definitely is confusing, and I get that a lot too. So great questions. Anything else before we move forward?
I have no more questions.
All right, thank you. Okay, now let me get back, blow this up, make it a little bit bigger. And thank you guys for your feedback. Just, I love for these calls to be interactive, so it's not just me talking. So anytime you guys have questions, please stop me, because these are here for the benefit of you guys for sure. So tips for being the best in class, and this is something that I always cover when we do these new hire trainings. It starts with kind of your attitude and your enthusiasm. It's a huge role in your success. And if you think about it, you want to be that first person that greet every customer walking in your door. I know I used to have a competition. I've been a sales rep just like everyone on this call as well. Working the floor every single day. It wasn't like the competition. Like, who wanted to greet that customer first? They walk in, hey, welcome to Blues. My name's Adam. Are you here for our promos? And I greet them with a smile, right? Smiles are free, and it can make someone's day. Doesn't matter how miserable day you're having. Someone smiles you and asks you how you're doing, asks if you're here for their promos or whatever greeting you like to use. It's just infectious. You're going to immediately start building that trust, start building that relationship with your customer with a simple smile. And it does make a big difference. And it's free. It doesn't cost you anything to do. If you think about an interaction when you go to a store and you got someone smiling and talking to you versus someone who just has a blank face on, how can I help you? It's a totally different scenario. One, you feel engaged, you feel warm. and you're like, okay, I got some buy-in with this rep. Let's get our conversation going. The other one, you're like, let me just take care of my business and get out of here, right? So your attitude plays a huge role to your success. When you have that enthusiastic, positive attitude, that customer's going to come back, and you may have 5 people in your store and you got another rep there, and they're going to wait for you. They're just like, oh no, I talked to Karen last time. I'm going to go ahead and wait for her. And I've seen it firsthand. I go in stores and I try to help out when I'm there, and I'm always impressed. I'm like, hey, welcome. Is there anything I can help you with? And they say, actually, I talked to so-and-so earlier. I'll go ahead and wait for them. I don't look at it as an insult. I'm like, dang, you must have done a great job, made an impact on that customer. They want to wait for you because you treated them so well in the past. I think it's fantastic. And that's the way to build that clientele that's loyal to you as a sales rep that'll come back to you each and every time. You want to make sure you greet those customers and maximize your sales opportunities to become as profitable as possible while addressing every customer need. What do I mean by that? Your stores are specialty stores. Boost stores are specialty stores, right? If they come into your store, they're looking for Boost Mobile. It's not like you're going to a Best Buy or a Target where you have 1,000 different products to buy. Every aisle could be a totally different category, from electronics to food to clothes, to greeting cards. No, if they come into your store, they want Boost. So you should never have a customer walk in and walk out without maximizing the opportunity, making sure you're talking about ACP, make sure you're talking about add-on lines. You never want to clerk a payment. A clerk is like if you go into the gas station and pay 20 on pump 6, there you go, you're set, right? Boom, you're out your door. That's a clerk. So if a customer comes into that, how do I parallel that to wireless? Customer comes in, I need to pay a bill. All right, what's your phone number? All right, $57 or whatever the price is, right? $60 with the $4 on there. All right, here's your $60. Thank you. Bye. You don't want to do that. You are not taking advantage of that customer. And one of the excuses I sometimes hear is, oh, I see them every month, so I know they just want to pay their bill. Well, you don't know what happened to that customer's life in the last 30 days. So give your pitches every time, even if the customer has heard it before, and maybe they've heard it 3 or 4 times. Maybe it's the 5th time you mention to them that triggers that buying behavior. So make sure you are maximizing every customer opportunity walking into your door. Again, you guys are not clerks, you are solutions consultants. And the thing about wireless is it's a career. It's something that everyone is always going to need a wireless device. Cell phones are no longer a luxury item like they were when they first launched, in the early 90s. So it's now a need. People are on their phones all day, every day. So this is a career you guys can excel in. You'll always have a job, and you want to look and make sure you act like a professional. And when it comes to your dress attire, if you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you're going to sell good. And when you sell good, you're going to get paid good, right? All into that attitude in your everyday approach. Look like a professional. Have that professional attitude, have that enthusiasm, and you will maximize every interaction you guys are having with your customers. So when it comes to appearance, like what does Boost require, right? So Boost branded shirt or name tag on. Don't be wearing basketball shorts, or a t-shirt into your job. I've seen that. Or, you want to look like a professional. If you don't have a shirt, reach out to us at DCI. We'll hook you up. I promise. We got shirts we can send you. Reach out to your Boost account executive. If you don't have anything, let us know. But you want to come in that professional attire. The whole point of why Boost did 4.0 stores, right? That's your stores with that nice Boost logo in the background, your orange walls, your panels, all that. We didn't have that, 5 years ago or more, right? It was kind of every store was its own thing, right? And they all look different. The reason why Boost did that is they wanted to make it more have a corporate look or feel. There are no corporate Boost stores. The 4.0 stores, you guys are the corporate Boost stores, basically, right? So they want to make it so if you go to a store to St. Louis, you go to a store to Detroit, you go to a store in Bloomington, Illinois, you're going to have that same look and feel. Just like, again, a Best Buy. You go into Best Buy anywhere in the country, you're going to have that same look and feel. And that's the whole kind of point of having that professional appearance. You want to look like a professional, your store should look professional, and it gives you credibility with your customers coming in. If I come in and you're wearing a t-shirt and basketball shorts, your credibility is almost instantly out the window, right? Like, okay, well, this guy's just here collecting a check. Like, I'm not really trusting what he says. You come in there, you got your Boost shirt on, you got some nice pants on, you got your lanyard on. Okay, whatever you recommend to me, I'm probably going to follow because you look like an expert and you know more about wireless and the customers walking in your door, so they're going to follow what you say and what you do. All right. And another thing we've gotten so far away from, it hurts, man. 'Cause I used to push this so hard and we were crushing. But now it's like we're not talking about it enough. and it's way down at Smile and Dial. So one of the biggest complaints I get from dealers is sales are so slow right now. Sales are so slow. I'm like, okay, how many Smile and Dial calls has your store done? We haven't made any. Okay, well, what are you doing all day? If you're slow, you should be leveraging Smile and Dial. It increases, you can push ACP on it, you can push add lines on it, you can push upgrades on it. It's such a great tool. It's exclusive to Boost. If you don't have it, you're missing a huge opportunity. The recommendation is 10 calls per day minimum. 10 calls and Smile and Dial is going to take you less than 30 minutes out of your day. So if you're working a full shift, you can find 30 minutes to make your 10 calls. Honestly, I would push for 20 a day if your store is low, but make those calls. There's no excuse. Unless your store doing 300 units and you're so busy you can't make them, okay, fair. If you're a store that's doing under 50 activations a month, where's your Smile and Dial numbers at, right? If you're not making your calls, that's an area where you can help drive that business in. Again, it's exclusive to Boost. You can drive customers to you and drive buying behaviors. On top of that, it's going to drive them back in and pay their third month bill. And again, like I said, you can push ACP and add a line as well. So make sure you guys are doing that. You'll see tons of different boxes that you can call your customers in pre-month welcome call and pre-month 2 check-in call, third and fourth month, pre-month 6 and check-in call, and then your longer customers, your loyalty boxes, be with you 2 to 5 years. Because customers be with you like 2 to 5 years, chances are they haven't gotten a new phone in a while, right? So great way to pitch an upgrade to those customers. And I'll give you just kind of a quick sample of my call. So I'll look up the list, and you can sort this by rate plan too. So I can sort by who's just on a $50 plan. If you look at in your Smile and Dial, you'll see little arrows by each category. So you can click by plan and see which customer each plan's on. So for example, customer, I sort it as on a $50 plan. And if you're looking on the screen right now, let's just say it's this one, the guy who had an A03. So I can call him up. Hey, how's it going? This is Adam Peterson over at Boost at Main Street. You got your Samsung Galaxy A03 from us. I just want to give you a courtesy call and check and see how your phone's working, right? I start every call that way. Hi, this is Adam from, name my location. You have named their phone that you got from us. Just wanted to check and see how your service is working. I set every call up as a courtesy call to lower their defenses, to make them think I'm not a bill collector, to understand that they bought from me locally, right? So once I say that, they're going to say everything's fine, or if they have an issue, I'm going to address it. After that, I'm going to pivot to my sales opportunity. My pivot, so they'll say, hi, my name's Adam from Boost over at 123 Main Street. Just want to give you a courtesy call. Check and see your Samsung Galaxy A03 you got from us is doing. Is everything working okay from you? Yeah, everything's fine. Perfect. Just want to let you know we have an awesome promotion coming up for Cinco de Mayo or whatever the holiday is, right? So I'm just going to use Cinco de Mayo because that's the next one coming up. No, later I'd say Mother's Day, later Father's Day, whatever the holiday is. We have awesome promotion for Cinco de Mayo coming up. I can get you an add-a-line and get you a $200 phone for as low as $15. Is there anyone in your family who might need an add-a-line of service? Right? So now I've pivoted into my pitch and I've done two things. I've given a high value of phone, the price of the phone, like $200. And then the promo price is $15. If you say just like a $15 phone or a $5 phone, they think it's cheap. If you say a $200 phone for only $15, boom, now you've made a buying decision. You created something in their mind like, oh, wow, that's great savings. And if they say yes, that's great. When could you come in? Wednesday or Thursday work better for you? Morning or afternoon? And the sales strategy in that is if you give customers two choices, they're likely to pick one. So if you say Wednesday or Thursday, they'll probably give you a date. If you say when you want to come in, I don't know, maybe next Friday, right? Pin them down. Then it's morning or afternoon work better for you. Mornings are better. Okay, how about 10 o'clock? Sound good? Right? You want to get that buy-in, get these appointments scheduled. Let's say they say no, they don't have anyone looking for an add-a-line. You can then pivot to ACP. You by chance have SNAP, WIC, or Medicaid? The reason I ask, there's also an awesome program right now where you can get a line of service that normally costs you $50 for as low as $20. Do you or maybe anyone in your family have benefits that can take advantage of those savings? Right? They're going to say yes. If they say yes, schedule your appointment. If no, okay, not interested, move on. You do 10 of those calls per day. Pretty quick talk track. You can fly through that again in 30 minutes. Next, ACP. For new hires, there's a whole training scheduled to ACP. Hard to cover quickly on one call, but basically, like I said before, it's $30 off every rate plan. So what you want to focus in is on your $50 rate plan is as low as $20. Now, what's the genius in that? Well, if it's $30 off any rate plan and all the rules are the same, what the price of an add-a-line for $50 is an extra $30, right? Now, $50 minus the 30, because you save that, is $20 for the ACP. The add-a-line is still the same rules, still the same $30. So now for my same $50, I can have 2 lines of service instead of just one, as long as the primary is on ACP. So what a great value. For the same price as 1 line, I can get you 2 lines of service for that exact same price. Any questions on ACP or on Smile and Dial before I move forward? And we'll probably do a whole call dedicated to ACP here in the next coming weeks. But yeah, it's a lot to squeeze into one new hire training call. It's kind of deserves its own call, and we'll dig more into that deeper. But any quick questions while we got you today?
No questions.
All right, thank you. All activations now should be on guided sales flow. Again, that orange network is going away. You know, when it goes down, we have to use orange. It's understandable. But again, June, end of June is what I've heard targeted. That may get moved back. We'll see. But end of June is the targeted date of when the orange SIM card network will be gone. So use your white and black SIM cards as much as possible. This won't be an issue once it's done, because it's going to be the only way to activate on customers. But just want to make sure you guys are aware of that and pushing it as much as possible when it's up and running, obviously, right? Plans, kind of covered plans before. Well, I guess we didn't cover plans necessarily, but I'm not going to cover that on this call because we're already kind of over. So I just want to move on to another very important item, which is value-added services. Okay, so value-added services, the main ones that we sell at Boost are device protection and international calling. What's very important here is that you guys are bundling these into your rate plans. So for example, if you have a 1-line customer, instead of saying it's $50 unlimited talk, text, and data, you want to tell that customer it's $57 a month unlimited talk, text, data, plus protection. And I always use the word protection instead of insurance. The reason why, people like to have their phones protected, but people don't like to pay for insurance. So if you say $57 on the talk, text, data, plus protection, you're going to get a lot of buy-in from the start. They call that the assumption close. If you say, you know, it's $50 a month and you're doing your sale and you get to that screen that pops up, do you want to add $7 for insurance? You're going to get no 8 out of 10 times. If you pitch it as $57 unlimited talk, text, data, plus protection, you're going to get a yes about 7 or 8 out of 10 times, right? It's all in how you position it. And when you position it and you get an objection, don't accept your first objection. For instance, Mr. Customer, I've qualified him. I didn't assume the 1-line sale, but he didn't need anyone else who needed one. It was 1 line, right? I've done all my qualifying questions. No, it's just 1 line. That's all I need. Okay, $57 a month to give you unlimited talk, text, data, plus protection. Well, your sign here says it's $50. Well, you know what? We want to make sure your device is protected. So we always want to add device protection on there. Majority of the phones are broken within the first 30 days. So until you're upgrade eligible, we strongly recommend that you have that device protection on there. Oh, no, I don't want it. I don't even set that second no. Sir, honestly, I'd be doing you a disservice. Most phones break within 30 days. If you will come in next month and you really want to take it off, we can call in and take it off. But I don't want you to walk out of here without it on there, because you can't add it next month. In order for it to be effective, you have to add it at point of sale. Can we just add it today, and then if next month you don't want it, we can take it off? I guess so. That's fine. That's typically how those interactions go, right? You can persuade a no to a yes. And if they still say no, okay. You know, you've done your due diligence. You tried to overcome the first objection. You tried to overcome the second objection. And, you know, not everyone's going to get it. But majority of people will if you pitch it in that manner. We want to look at least one value-added service to every customer. And keep in mind, we have the international calling as well, which is $5 per month. When it comes to kind of bundling, another key point in there, like when I say $57, let's say it's 2 lines, right? 2 lines would be $94, right? Because 80 for 2, then you're $7 in device protection, both brings it to $94. When you pitch it as it's going to be unlimited talk, text, data, plus protection on both phones for $94 a month, that's going to sell. And there's a reason why McDonald's sells everything in a value meal. They don't go fries, Coke, medium drink. It's, you know, number 2 or whatever it is, right? fries, Coke, and a hot burger, whatever you're ordering, right? There's a reason why it's in a bundle. And if you guys are bundling, you can do it better than that. You can take it next level and include your case, your screen protector, give them that out the door price. That's fantastic. That's master level. If you're doing that, hey, out the door today, it's going to be $184. That's your setup fee, your first month, your case, your screen protector, and your charger. After that, it's going to be $94 a month or whatever that case is. If you can do that, that's where you want to be. If you're starting on it and you don't have that full bundle, I recommend building it. At the very least, you should easily be able to bundle your device protection plus the price you're paying for those customers. Never assume the one-line sale. So this is just very important that I notice whenever I secret shop stores. When I'm secret shopping stores, people always press me on one phone. They're not qualifying. So you need to ask how many people in your household need a device today, right? Don't assume it's one line. Like for me, I was going there and say, hey, you know, I'm wearing a wedding ring, but people are only saying one phone, right? Like you can look at body language. Do they have a ring on? Obviously, there's someone else in their family. They're married. Maybe there's a second line there. You know, if it's an older person, maybe they have kids. So never assume that one line sale. Make sure you guys are asking how many people in the family need a device, because you can uncover your add-line opportunities with that simple question, right? And I think this is a big miss. When people see one person, they assume that one-line sale. So I just wanted to give you kind of a reminder on that. Don't assume that one-line sale. Make sure you are qualifying your customers with how many customers need an actual device. That greeting I gave at the start of this call is kind of the art of the greeting. How are you here for our promos? Now, why do I like that greeting so much? It works on every level. So first thing is everyone loves a promotion. Second, it creates dialogue for open-ended questions. And as I said, it works in every scenario. So let's say the first customer, no one's here to pay a bill. I got great news. Your promotions for our bill payment customers today as well, right? And then I'm going to ask them, do you by chance have SNAP-WIC or Medicaid? And I can qualify them for ACP. If they say no, then no problem. We have our add-line payment, right? I can pay it to an add-line. So even though you're here to pay a bill, if I say you're here for our promos, no, I'm just here to pay my bill today. Oh, that's great. We actually have promotions for our bill payment customers. And I can pitch ACP and I can pitch add-a-line. Other customer always say, if I say, are you here for our promos? And they're like, what promotions do you have going on? Right? Starts that dialogue there. Other customer, here for our promos? Yeah, I see your iPhone promotion for $99.99 or whatever the price is, right? So it works for every customer. So I love it. It sounds a little cheesy, sounds a little corny, but it's effective and it works. So that's why that's been my go-to for years. All right, major plan offers that you guys are going to sell. The $50 and $60 plans. Add-lines are $30 on the $50 plan and $40 on the $60 plan. Moving on, lastly, boost promoter score. So you guys do get ranked on every customer that comes into your, well, not every customer, certain customers will get a survey, and they will give you a boost promoter score based on the service they got in your location. And you can ask customers, hey, did I do everything for you today? Where if you got a survey, you could give me a 5 on my survey or a 10 on my survey. And if they say yes, perfect. If they say no, well, what could I have done better? You know, you can learn from that. The customer's feedback will go into that, and those do get emailed out to the dealers weekly when we get them, and we cover them on your guys' QBR reviews as well. But it's important because you want customers to be promoters of your business. If you're, if it's a 10-point scale, if you're a 9 or a 10, you're going to be a promoter. And they're going to tell your friends actively to go to your location. If they give you, a 6, 7, or 8, or the middle ground, then they're neutral. They're not really going to talk about it. Maybe they come back to you, but they're not going to promote you. Or if they're 1 or 2, they're detractors. You're probably not going to see them again, right? So that promoter score is important. And I've seen some stores go as far as saying, hey, can you mention my name in the survey if I gave you great service today? And they'll be like, hey, Ricardo did an awesome job for me. He really took care of my needs. And you see that like 5 times in the survey. Wow, that guy should get something special because he's really taking care of everybody, right? So just, there is a promoter score on the service you give our customers. Doesn't go out to everybody. It's kind of hit and miss, but it is out there. I guess one last quick thing. I forgot we started the call with the Cinco de Mayo music, right? Building business outside your 4 walls. Remember to do some company appreciation days. If you go to local businesses, say can we set up a tent to push ACP for your customers and our special deals. Use social media to advertise Cinco de Mayo, Mother's Day, Father's Day. Partner with your local communities and join your local chamber of commerce. Just a great way to grow business outside of your 4 walls. Man, I'm a little bit over today. We're 10 minutes over. So thank you guys for sticking with me. Thanks for hopping on this call. We want to make this as beneficial as possible. We'll open it up. Are there any questions at this time or anything else you'd like to have focused more in detail on an upcoming training? All right, looks like we are all good. Well, thank you guys so much for hopping on. I really appreciate all of you so much. Have a great Cinco de Mayo. Have a fantastic week. Happy selling. Hopefully, if you're a football fan, your NFL team had a great draft, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you guys so much for hopping on.